Hi friends, and welcome to my channel. From the title of the video, you probably already know what's going to happen, but if you don't, I wanted to share my favorite books with you guys, and maybe you guys will feel inspired to read a few of them. If not, that's totally fine. These are my favorites, they're not everybody's favorites, but please let me know your favorites in the comments below, because I would love some book recommendations. I'm trying to broaden the genres that I typically go to. So please, let me know. Let's start off with one of the books that got me into reading a few years ago. I was never known to read as a kid. That wasn't my cup of tea. I preferred watching TV, playing video games, going outside. I was never one to read, really. I had a hard time with it when I was younger, but I am loving it now that I am older, and I'm genuinely enjoying it. So, alright, the first book that I will be showing you guys is The Land of Stories by Chris Colfer. It is a modern twist on fairy tale classics. I absolutely love this book. It's a full series. There's 6 of them. The series is wonderful. I was hooked from book 1 to read the rest of this series. Yeah, it has all the fairy tale characters: Cinderella, Jack and the Beanstalk, Rapunzel, Red Riding Hood. You name it, it's probably in here. It's modern world meets fairy tales. It's about twins who get sucked into a book that their grandmother gives them, and they are transported to the fairy tale kingdom, and they have adventures in said kingdom, and they have to try and figure out how to get home. And that's what this is all about. Obviously some... Hi, Jarv. Is this your favorite? No? Obviously there's twists and turns that I will not be telling anybody, because you should read it. It's great. I highly recommend this one. This one is one of my absolute favorites. And Chris also has another series, 2 other series now. One of the other series revolves around the fairy godmother from this series. It's like it's her story, the prequel, if you will. And that one's also lovely. I'm blanking on the name of it, but I will put the title of it right here. It's 3 books. It's also a series. I really like that one as well. I'm gonna stick with my younger genre, and then I'll get into the older ones, I believe. Okay, so my second book that I will be showing you guys is The Giver. Now, I had to read this in school when I was in about grade 8. It's not very big, but it's well loved. I loved reading this book, and it is officially a banned book, and all I can say is it is literally what the government is doing to some people. It is taking away our rights. This book is about this community. They don't see color. They have very specific jobs that they're given to once they reach a certain age. And the main character in this one reaches that age, and he finds out that his job is called the receiver. And essentially, he gets teamed up with the giver to receive all these memories of what life used to be before they were put into this situation. Without freedom, essentially. Everything is set in stone. There's so many rules, and the giver has all the memories of previous givers, and it's his job to give the memories and pass them on to the next person of what life is like with freedom and having your own right to live your life. and it's great. If that doesn't tell you to read this book, you need to read this book. It is so good. My next book is The Beautiful Something Else by Ashfan Otterloo. I got an advanced reader's copy of this one, and I absolutely loved it. It is another 9 to 12 book, but it is about a person, about a kid whose mom is not accepting of how different their child is, and the child gets taken away from the mother at the very beginning of the book. It's not a spoiler. And they have to live their life with their aunt, and it's basically how this child navigates figuring out who they are as a person without their mother's negative influence. One of the things from the back of the book literally says they don't feel like a girl or a boy, and while this discovery is exciting, now Sparrow must decide whether to tell everyone, their new family and friends, not so secret crush, and most likely their mother, the truth, especially if it means things change forever. So it is about a non-binary, non-gender conforming child who doesn't necessarily know how they feel about their body, figuring it out in real time, in unforeseen circumstances. I think this would be a great book for kids to read if they are confused on how they feel about themselves. I wish I had had this book when I was younger, for sure. And then, not to be that bitch, but I'm gonna be that bitch for 2 seconds. Heartstopper. You cannot go wrong with Heartstopper. If you want cute, queer fiction in the form of pictures, this is all you need. This is also a series, and the last one just got announced. The release date got announced. So I am patiently waiting for the next one to come out. But if you've seen the show, you still need to read these, because you get so much out of them besides the show. Obviously, there's things different from these than the show, but this is that bitch of a book, you know? You can't go wrong with this one. For those who don't know what this book is actually about, it's about a guy named Charlie. He gets outed and bullied profusely by the other guys at his school. He goes to an all-boys school, and on one of his first days of school of the new year, he runs into this guy named Nick. And then Nick quickly befriends him, and sparks fly. There's a lot of confusion of sexuality. There's a lot of discovery. There's a lot of friendship in general in this book, and it's just really sweet and really wholesome. And yeah, it's real. There's real issues in this comic, in this graphic novel, in this series. I do have one nonfiction book that I would like to share with you guys, if that's all right. I know nonfiction isn't for everyone, but this biography is too good to not share with you guys. So I'm sharing I'm Glad My Mom Died by Jennette McCurdy. If any, for people my age, we grew up with Jennette McCurdy as Sam from iCarly. And this is her story of childhood stardom and all the dark secrecies that may come with it. This is her truth. This is what she went through. It's dark, it's funny, it's what people need to know about childhood stardom and what some of the dangers may be when it comes to kid acting. And I have always loved Sam from iCarly, so to get to know her as Jennette was really really fun to learn things about someone that you spent so much time seeing on the screen in a different light. Because obviously she's not Sam, and her story is nothing like that at all. So, if you want a biography recommendation, I definitely recommend this one. And there's a reason why, and you'll find out if you read it. Now, I have 2 regular fiction books, and they're both considered classics. But they're classics for a reason. I'm gonna save my all-time favorite for last, but this one would be my second favorite in the fiction realm. My next book is The Picture of Dorian Gray. Now, if you've read this one, you know why. Well, I guess this isn't everybody's cup of tea, but it is a classic for a reason. Oscar Wilde is a phenomenal author. But for whoever has not read this one, it is about a man who gets his portrait done by one of his friends. And in the fear of growing old and not to stay as beautiful as he is, he makes a wish for his portrait to age and himself not. So as time goes on, the portrait changes, but his visually, aesthetically pleasing face does not change, but the portrait does, and he hides the portrait so that no one may know what his secret is. It's very good. It's not a long read, but it is. I highly recommend this to anybody, especially if you've read a different Oscar Wilde book, Importance of Ernest, or whatever. I do highly recommend to read this one next, because it's great. Now, my final book is my absolute favorite book, and that would be Frankenstein by Mary Shelley. And I have a few copies of this book because I love it so much, and I just love different editions of books. And I'm sure many people already know what the story of Frankenstein is, but if you don't know, it is about a scientist, Victor Frankenstein, who wants to discover the secret of life, essentially. He wants to create another being from science. And he ends up succeeding. He creates what they would describe as a monster. Frankenstein's monster at that. The monster ends up running away, and the doctor is then faced with the consequences of his actions, and he has to figure out how to deal with those consequences and figure out how he can prevent things from happening. But you get both perspectives in this book, both of Frankenstein and the monster. I'm going to read the back of this book because I just think it's a lovely saying. To examine the cause of life, we must first have recourse to death. I became acquainted with the science of anatomy. This was not sufficient. I must also observe the natural decay and corruption of the human body. Now that is Victor Frankenstein for you. Those are my recommendations for anybody who was wondering what my favorite books were. I've got a thick stack going here. Those are some of my favorites. I do have other ones, but I thought I'd share the basic ones first. Yeah, leave your guys' favorites down below. Let me know if you've read any of these. Let me know your guys' thoughts on any of the books. Even if you didn't like them, I still want to know, because I would like to know what your take on certain things may have been. Because everybody has different opinions, and everybody has a different way of viewing literature. Leave recommendations for me, please. I have lots of books that I have to read, but I always like seeing what other people recommend anyway, because maybe something will spark my curiosity. Yeah, that brings us to the end of this video. It's just a short, quick one, since I waited to the last minute to do this one. It's literally the last day of the month that I'm filming this. But yeah, thank you for watching. Please like, please subscribe, hit that notification bell so you know when I'm posting. I hope to see you guys soon, but I will see you in the next video. Bye.